Cuyahoga County Council regular meeting for Tuesday, January 11, 2022 is now called to order. Andrew, would you please call the roll?
Good afternoon, everyone. It is now 5:02 p.m. As a reminder to all in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's. Calling the roll, Mr. Tuma,
Here.
Mr. Gallagher,
Here.
Mr. Schran,
Here.
Ms. Conwell,
Present.
Ms. Turner,
Here.
Ms. Stevens,
Present.
Ms. Simon,
Here.
Ms. Baker, Mr. Miller,
Here.
Mr. Sweeney,
Present.
Council President Jones.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. At this time, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Andrew, has anyone signed in for public comment?
Yes, Council President, we do have Gina Calabrese.
Hello. I was asked to speak by Lou. My name is Gina Calabrese, and I reside at the Norma Her Women's Shelter. And on December 13, 2021, I was assaulted with a glass jar. It was thrown at my forehead by a woman named Autumn. I went down and requested that Autumn be removed from the room when she was behaving violently. And I talked to Staff Bernard and the security guard, and they refused to do anything to go up and remove Autumn. So I asked that Staff Monica be paged. Bernard refused, but he said Staff Monica was upstairs. That's where I reside, where the violent individual was. So I did walk back upstairs, look for Staff Monica. As I passed dorm 209, where I stay, Autumn was yelling. I returned back downstairs. I let them know Autumn is yelling. Staff Bernard and the security guard still refused to do anything. And they said, well, go and find KK. She's upstairs doing bed check. So I returned back upstairs and went to look for Staff KK. I found her in the workers' dorm. I told her that Autumn in dorm 209 was behaving violently. And Staff KK said, you are adults. Just get along. I returned back downstairs and told Staff Bernard and the security guard, and they refused to do anything. So I went back upstairs, walked into dorm 209, and Autumn was still behaving violently. At one of the times that I returned downstairs, Autumn was pounding on the locker, and you were able to hear it. And I told Staff Bernard and the security guard, that's Autumn. However, they still refused to remove Autumn from dorm 209. So when I returned back upstairs and into dorm 209, Autumn threw a glass jar at my forehead, and it split my forehead, opened from just the impact of the jar. Now, on January 8, 2022, I received a letter from Staff KK, who was one of the individuals who refused to do anything. She handed it to me on January 8, and she stated that I just received this today. When I opened it, I saw that I have 7 days to respond, and I went back to her and I asked, are you telling me that a letter that was mailed to you on December 22nd just arrived today on January 8th? She then said, well, I can't help it if you didn't ask for your mail. I said, well, no. You just said, one of the people who were involved in not doing anything, that this just came today on January 8th. I recorded her as she texted on her own personal phone, and at the third time that I went down, that I questioned her, she just told me to have a nice day. And I just wanted to ask if this is the type of services that the county offers.
Okay, so thank you One, just to explain how the process works, it's not a back and forth. This is your opportunity to share with this body, and we have heard. At this point, we won't actually respond to you, but what I'd like for you to do is to speak with our Chief of Staff, Joseph Nani, and he can help follow up and see what we can do to be helpful.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you for presenting to us.
Lou?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Happy New Year's to everybody. Hopefully this will be a bright 2022 for all of us. Unfortunately, the first public comment of the year is not really a good news. Since the January 8th, 2022 was mentioned, let me continue the eventful day on that particular Saturday. In the evening, we actually had a real fire. In this case, the staff member we just heard the name also involved in the following incident. Supposedly, if we have a fire situation, doesn't matter it's a drill or it's a real fire, for the safety of everybody's lives, then we should all exit buildings. However, as I have told you before, the building, the electrical system has been ruined on both sides, so fire alarm actually didn't go off to alert people. So at that time, I just got my booster shot, so I was under the influence of the side effects. I just woke up, and I had to use the bathroom, and one staff actually told me, not this particular one, a different one, saying that, oh, you have to leave the building, but I did not know. I just woke up. I had to use the bathroom. So this is the case. I got even written up. While we were waiting outside for all the fire heroes to do their jobs, guess what? One particular new homeless person, her seizure was triggered by the blinking lights of all the emergency vehicles. However, the staff actually refused her to go in there to avoid the trigger to cause her seizures. And at the same night, of course, after we got in, remember the fire happened during the dinner time, majority of the people did not even get to serve the dinner. So, the situation we have talking about here is the same thing as before. Mr. Tuma and Mr. Millers and some of other council members, you guys were very concerned about the troubles we have been encountering. They are still the same. Mail theft, very bad attitudes to mistreat people verbally, emotionally, even physically. As I said before, it's a trauma-enforced system. So please help us to get this problem corrected. We all wish we will have a brighter 2022 and from now on. Thank you very much for listening. And lots of people are not in good health. So hopefully we can wait till the help comes. Thank you very much.
Council President, that concludes the public comment for this meeting.
All right, thank you, Andrea. At this time, can I have a motion to approve the minutes as presented on the agenda?
So moved.
Been moved, is there a second?
Second, Conwell.
Okay, properly moved and seconded. All those in favor of approving our minutes, say aye.
Aye.
The minutes are approved. At this time, messages from our county executive.
Thank you, Mr. President. When you look at the most successful metropolitan areas around the country, including Franklin and Allegheny counties, there's a clear common thread. That's a good collaboration between the county and the major city. That is very important whether you live in the city or a suburb. After the recent mayoral election, Mayor Bibb and I talked about getting together. I explained that Mayor Jackson and I had been meeting monthly. Mayor Bibb suggested we meet even more frequently, every other week, and that's what we're doing. So far, our meetings have been productive. Collaboration should also include the business community. Mayor Bibb and I have discussed adding a regular meeting with Beju Shaw of the Greater Cleveland Partnership, and I believe that we're going to start that soon also. Mayor Bibb and I most recently met yesterday, and our next scheduled meeting is January 24th. If any of you have items that you'd like me to discuss with the mayor at the next meeting or at any of the meetings, please let me know, and I would be happy to raise those items in our discussions. Thank you.
Thank you, Armin. I'll share as well. I've had the opportunity to meet with Mayor Justin Bibb. I'm very impressed. I've obviously known him for 10 years as he was a former county employee. We also have those bi-weekly meetings as well. So I see a bright future in collaboration with our new mayor. So again, thank you, Armin, and look forward to that working relationship. Okay. Legislation introduced by council. Consideration of a resolution of council for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2022-0001, adopting various changes to the Cuyahoga County non-bargaining classification plan.
This item will be referred to the Human Resources, Appointments, and Equity Committee. Legislation introduced by executive. Consideration of resolutions for first reading adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion on the suspending of the rules? If not, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The rules are suspended.
Resolution 2022-0002, amending the 2022-2023 biennial operating budget for 2022 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations, appropriation transfers, and cash transfers.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, my colleagues, this is the regular fiscal agenda of budget amendments. The answers to our questions to OBM have been distributed on your desks. Most of the items are routine appropriations of grants and technical changes and transfers. The following items are notable. There is an appropriation of $515,000 to begin COVID-19 testing at the Justice Center. There is an appropriation of $13,125,612 in opiate settlement funds. And there's nothing new here. These are simply funds that were not spent in 2021 and need to be reappropriated. There's also an appropriation of $2,709,528 for the Adams Board for a state grant for opiate prevention efforts. There's an appropriation of $20 million in American Rescue Plan funds for personnel expenditures. This allows us to cover $20 million in 2021 personnel costs from the American Rescue Plan rather than the general fund. Also, there is a transfer of $3,195,622 to use the remaining CARES Act to cover what would otherwise be general fund personnel expenses. And it's noted that we received and were able to take advantage of an extension of the deadline from 12/31/2021 until 3/31/2022 for the expenditure of the CARES Act funds. I recommend passage on first reading suspension.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2022-0003, approving a successor collective bargaining agreement between Cuyahoga County and the United Automobile, Aerospace, and Agricultural Implement Workers of America, UAW Region 2B, Local 70, representing approximately 41 correction officer corporals in the Sheriff's Department, and it's for the period January 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2023.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. This item was discussed in executive session, and I ask for my colleagues' support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2022-0004, extending the appointment of Interim Director of Public Safety and Justice Services, Brandy Carney, to March 8th, 2022.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Is there someone to address this item?
Mr. President.
Councilman?
My colleagues, the current interim appointment expires very shortly, and Brandy Carney has been nominated for the full position for public safety, but in order to provide time that we can have a proper public hearing, we're asking for approval of this extension of the interim. And there's separate legislation that is being referred that will cover the permanent appointment.
All right. Thank you for that fill-in, Councilman Miller. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2022-0005, confirming the county executive's appointment of Paul Hertick to serve on the City of Cleveland, Cuyahoga County Workforce Development Board for an unexpired term ending June 30th, 2022.
This item will be referred to the Human Resources, Appointments, and Equity Committee.
Resolution 2022-0006, confirming the county executive's reappointment of Moselle Jackson to serve on the Cuyahoga County Board of Developmental Disabilities for the term January 27th, 2022 through January 22nd, 2026.
This item will be referred to the Human Resources, Appointments, and Equity Committee.
Resolution 2022-0007, confirming the county executive's appointment of Brandy Carney upon her taking the oath of office as Director of Public Safety and Justice Services.
And this item will be referred to the Committee of the Whole.
Resolution 2022-0008, declaring official intent under U.S. Treasury regulations with respect to reimbursements from bond proceeds of temporary advances made for payments in connection with the development of a new county jail prior to issuance of bonds and related matters.
This item will be referred to the Finance and Budgeting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0009, authorizing revenue-generating agreement number 2140 with the City of Cleveland Heights in the amount not to exceed $600,000 for maintenance and repair of storm and sanitary sewers located in the County Sewer District number 17 for the period January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2022.
This item will be referred to the Public Works, Procurement, and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0010, making an award on requisition 6057 to Medical Mutual of Ohio, doing business as Medical Mutual Services, LLC, in the amount not to exceed $285,376,490 for group health care benefits for county employees and their eligible dependents and Cuyahoga County Benefits Regionalization Program participants, employees, and their eligible dependents for the period January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2024.
This item will be referred to the Human Resources, Appointments, and Equity Committee.
Resolution 2022-0011, making an award on requisition 6057 to Caremark PCS Health, LLC, in the amount not to exceed $53 million for pharmacy benefit management services for county employees and their eligible dependents and Cuyahoga County Benefits Regionalization Program participants, employees, and their eligible dependents for the period January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2024.
This item will be referred to Human Resources, Appointments, and Equity Committee.
Resolution 2022-0012, making an award on requisition 6836 to Medical Mutual of Ohio in the amount not to exceed $1,459,171 for stop-loss insurance services for county employees and their eligible dependents and Cuyahoga County Benefits Regionalization Program participants, employees, and their eligible dependents for the period January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2022.
This item will refer to Human Resources, Appointments, and Equity Committee.
Resolution 2022-0013, authorizing a contract with InfoPro Computer Solutions in the amount not to exceed $897,000 for sole source maintenance services and the development of a web-based application and related training services for the Buckeye Case Management and Computer Network Systems for the period April 1st, 2022 through March 31st, 2025.
This item will be referred to the Finance and Budgeting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0014, authorizing a contract with Passages Connecting Fathers and Sons, Inc., in the amount not to exceed $1,065,476 for the implementation of the Cognitive Behavioral Interventions for Offenders Seeking Employment program for moderate and high-risk level offenders who are unemployed or underemployed for the period July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2023.
This item will be referred to Public Safety and Justice Affairs Committee.
Resolution 2022-0015, authorizing a contract with Child Care Resource Center of Cuyahoga County, doing business as Starting Point, in the amount not to exceed $1,900,000 for out-of-school time services for youth for the period January 1st, 2022 through December 21st, 2022. It looks like it's an error.
Okay. This item will be referred to the Education, Environment, and Sustainability Committee.
And as a correction, I think that this should be December 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2022.
Do we need to do a motion or anything? No? Okay, just correct the typo. Okay.
Resolution 2022-0016, authorizing an agreement with Alcohol, Drug Addiction, and Mental Health Services Board of Cuyahoga County in the amount not to exceed $1,639,104 for fiscal agent and program administration services for the Early Childhood Mental Health Program in connection with the Invest in Children program for the period January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2023.
Discharge from committee and consideration of a resolution for second reading adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Okay, and again, just for clarity, we're suspending the Rule 9D requiring 3 readings and 12S discharging from committee by petition, dispensing with committee review, and discharging resolutions number R2021-0282 to the full council for consideration.
Second.
So properly moved and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor of suspending the rules say aye.
Aye.
All right, the rules are suspended. Just for note, this item was discussed in the Committee of the Whole. And Madam Clerk, you can read the next item into the record.
Thank you. Resolution 2021-0282, authorizing an amendment to contract number CE 1900-330 with Highland Group, Inc. for insurance brokerage and risk management services for the period January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2021, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2022, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $2,571,470.
Move to adopt.
Second. Sharon?
Mr. President, my colleagues, the first thing that I'd like to do is to move a substitute which will accept the final lower negotiated number of $1,579,611 as the contract amount. And after the substitute is accepted, I'll offer some additional comments. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? If not, all those in favor of accepting the proposed substitute say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Ayes have it.
Mr. President and my colleagues, this is the item that we heard in the informal hearing in the Committee of the Whole. This is a one-year continuation contract with Highland Group for risk management services and insurance coverages. The basic cost of insurance went up $300,000, and especially notable was an increase of almost 100% for cybersecurity coverage for the same coverage that we had previously. Balancing that off, we are saving $700,000 on the property insurance for the properties that were transferred to Metro Health, and they are assuming the cost of the insurance. The contract needs to go into effect before the end of the month, and we were told that it would have been difficult in the few days remaining after the second meeting this month. So therefore, I would ask for your support to pass the legislation on second reading suspension.
All right, all those in favor of adopting the resolution on its merits as substituted, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the resolution is adopted. Committee report and consideration of a resolution for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2021-0268, authorizing home loans to various organizations or their designees in the total amount not to exceed $2,250,000 for various affordable housing projects. For the designees or organizations listed, items A through E.
Move to adopt.
Second.
I think that everybody can see what the various different loans are that have been targeted and identified, and some of those are in areas that have long needed to be renovated, as far as like the Warner and Swayze building. It's pretty exciting to see those things coming back to life with new folks, new redevelopment. So with that, I would encourage everybody to support passage.
All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. At this time, our miscellaneous committee reports. Are there any committee reports?
Chair, can I get my name on the last item?
Please add Councilwoman Yvonne Conwell's name to that
Mr.
last
President?
resolution. Yes.
Would you add my name, sir?
Add Meredith Turner, Councilwoman Meredith Turner's name as well.
Mr. President, my colleagues, the Finance and Budgeting Committee will not meet before the next council meeting, but I would call to everybody's attention that next week on Thursday, January the 20th at 1 p.m., we will have the post-audit conference with the State Auditor's Office. This is not a public meeting. It's going to be done via Microsoft Teams, and I would encourage everyone who's interested to please participate in that meeting. Finance and Budgeting Committee will meet on Monday, January 31st at 1 p.m. for our next review on the ERP project, and on Thursday, February 3rd at 10 a.m. to hear from Zig Berzens. And the two resolutions that were introduced today are not real time sensitive, and so they will either be included in one or both of these upcoming meetings or else heard during February. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President, Public Works will meet at its regularly scheduled time next week to go over some items that we left from last year. Thank you.
And Mr. President?
Safety to 1 o'clock Tuesday.
Safety,
And Mr. President, the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee will meet next Tuesday at 10 o'clock, January 18th.
Mr. President? The Council Operation Rules and Transportation Committee will meet at its regularly scheduled time to consider the whistleblower legislation.
any other reports?
Yes.
Yes.
Education, Environment, Sustainability, regular time, Wednesday, January 19th at 3 o'clock for the 2 items referred, and perhaps hearing a follow-up from 2 organizations for the, which we usually hear from every year.
Thank you.
Mr. President,
Any other?
the Community Development Committee needs you to reauthorize its advisory committee for dealing with lenders in Cuyahoga County.
Mr. President, Health and Human Services will not meet next.
We will not meet on the 19th?
Will not.
Okay. Any other committee reports? EDP? No? All right. No other reports? At this time, is there any miscellaneous business?
Mr. President? I have two things. The employees, the Employee of the Year tabulations are out. There will be a drawing for very valuable gifts this week. Must have been a good year because Trevor Mackler is already complaining that he didn't come in first place. And second, we left out of here so quickly before the holidays that I think the rush got to us. And I failed, I can't believe it, but I failed to recognize the mighty St. Edward Eagles brought home the Division I football championship again. It never gets old. A great school like that, holding up Northeast Ohio for all to cherish the Division I title. For more to come, congratulations to the Eagles and all the schools that participated.
Good job, Eagles. How's that? That wasn't that hard.
Any other miscellaneous? If not, all right. If nothing else holds our attention, our meeting is adjourned.